Hey there everybody, Mazrock here, and today we have a viewer video for VoD review. It is a Brewmaster video, 18 Halls of Atonement. Very nice man asked me to review the key, see if everything went well. At the end of the video, he did say that he went through his talents and stuff like that so we could see it. So we're going to get into it in just a quick moment here, but before we do, I'm going to rewind this back to the start. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to put up a key for me to review, there is indeed a link down in the description box below. There's a Patreon if you'd like to support me directly, and as well Twitch link, Discord link, all of the fun stuff down below. I don't want to keep this going any more longer than it has to, but thank you everybody for all of the support. As well as one more thing that I do want to cover. I did swap back to my old editing software. I swapped away from Premiere Pro for a while, and I think that was kind of a mistake on my part. So we're going back to Premiere Pro, and if that is I'm hoping that this fixes the audio issues that a lot of you have talked about and all that fun stuff. So let's get into it. Let's just go back to the start and see how things are going. All right, so Brewmaster video. I checked his talents. He's running all the same kind of the main talent builds that I am with Rushing Jadewind and Light Brewing and all that fun stuff. So there's nothing completely out of the ordinary. He did a very good job pulling this right off the bat. It's Necrotic Spiteful, so that's this week's affixes. Now, one thing I'm going to say right off the bat, you've got a lot of UI clutter at the beginning. You have a very nice widescreen. I think that you're maybe not utilizing it as much as you could. Because you see here, you can almost see nothing around your feet here. It might help you to just kind of maybe move some of these around a little bit more. Just kind of move them, like spread them out a little bit, so then that way you can see a little bit more. But that's kind of a very basic kind of thing and personal preference. You absolutely don't have to if you don't want to. Because as you see here, yeah, you have everything kind of stacked around you, which is going to make it hard for melee. But I mean, it's really not bad. I mean, I've absolutely seen terrible UIs, and yours is not terrible. It's very nice. I just think you have this nice big widescreen and you're kind of cluttering everything towards the center. I liked how you pulled the Toiling Groundskeepers in after the fact. Very good Sanguine management there as well. Now, are you Kyrian or are you Necrolord is the next question. But, I mean, that's not a big problem there. Very nice use of Ring of Peace. Bringing these in. See, here I'm having trouble. I don't think there's any melee in your group anyway, so I don't think this matters. But, like, I would have trouble seeing what melee are on my sides, right? With that kind of, with that sort of thing there. But no, you've got good movement. You're placing these around great. I got my coffee here. Let's enjoy a nice coffee on this Sunday morning. Very nice. Yeah, no, honestly, very good pulls so far. Love the use of Rushing Jadewind. If you're gonna not move anything though, I do suggest keep that Necrotic stack exactly where you can see it in full view. Yeah, no, that's especially with a widescreen, put that front and center, absolutely. And I do gotta say, you know, putting yourself out on the internet like this, it takes a lot of guts. Thank you so much for doing this. It's not always easy. Oh, you're Kyrian. That's okay. I see it now. Okay. Yeah, I see your buffs and stuff here. Yeah, see, you've got... I think right now my biggest thing is you've got so much like incoming clutter. But I mean, dude, if that's the only thing I can say right now, you're doing really well. I like the chain pulling. You're going in very well. You're managing your Necrotic stacks well. You used Paralyze to stop that Houndmaster as well. Don't think I didn't notice that. Very good. No, you're doing good. You're doing good. I don't know if you were in comms or anything. That's not anything I had checked. So let's see if we can maybe turn the volume up on here. Alright, perfect. Yeah, we'll turn the volume up. So we'll have some game sounds as well. Kultiran Monk. Ah! I really like Haymaker. It's such a fun ability to press, I have to admit. My druid was Kultiran at one point, and it's such a fun ability to press. I'm auditory based, so I totally understand where everything's coming in here. I love hearing these, although personally I would probably change the I'd probably change the voice if you could, because that would be grating to me after a while. But I also have GTFO, so I am in no place to be able to comment on weird audio sounds.
Curse of Obliteration. Thrash.
Oh, very nicely pulled, very nicely managed. Good kicks. You've got a good party. Ah, I see where you're going with that too. Very nice. Are you avoiding that one, or? Okay. Nice mount, by the way. I never went and got that one. I like that mount. Very nice. Let's kind of move that out of the way. So, for this one here, I know it can be dangerous. Just to optimize these pulls a little bit, I would have probably put the Obliterator and the Dark Blade in this one combined, that are right over here. I would have probably combined these together, but you did chain pull them in, so yeah, you're doing well. There, you're gonna get that Stoneborn. Nice use of Ring of Peace. Although dangerous this week because of Necrotic. So I tend to like to play a little bit more safely and use Ring of Peace to kind of kite away from Necrotic. But you don't have to at all, especially with Monk. A little bit of pre-planning with a safety port away or anything like that. You can work that around really well. But you're managing your stacks fairly well. You're pretty high here, but you're not taking much incoming damage, right? You are not comfortable with your routing at all, and that's fair. Halls is like one of them that like really you can pull so many different ways, right? And it's not always easy to remember. There's a specific routing I've been wanting to try, but I just I haven't been doing it just because I'm kind of set in my ways, and I know that's not the right thing to do. We're almost at season 4, right? Whatever's working is working. See here, I would have pulled these Groundkeepers into that shard pack. There's a lot of CDs that were just utilized that it's gonna make this a little bit harder for you. I would have just pulled them right in, because you got a lot of good AoE blasters, right? You got a Destro Lock, you got a Balance, and you got an Ellie Shaman. You've got a lot of good AoE blasters. You could have just straight up rolled them right into it and probably been just fine. Now, not to say that you're not fine just now, but you could have optimized that just a little bit better. But I mean, if we're at the point of we're only talking of light optimizations, I think we're in a pretty good spot. So it's not a problem there. You tried to mount and you're in combat? Yeah, Spiteful Week's so fun. Alright, what's your percentage count at the moment? 65? Alright. Do you have a Venthyr in the party? I haven't seen anybody use the Venthyr. And I think I remember you telling me you don't have one. So you read it you read it around not having one, which is totally fair.
Deadly Thrust. Curse of Obliteration. Deadly Thrust. Curse of Obliteration. Deadly Thrust.
So you're sitting at 72. You're doing good. One thing I really like about your UI setup is the plates tells you where the Spitefuls are going and who they're going after, so you can see. I do like that.
Crumbling Slam. Glass Shards. Heap Debris. Glass Shards. Slam.
You're stacking the slams, which is nice.
Heap Debris. Crumbling Slam. Glass Shards. Heap Debris.
So what I tend to do in the third one, which is what you're doing here, right here, yeah. You're gonna do that crumbling slam right there, perfect, and I assume you're gonna pull him out for visions. See, I would have pulled him out for, because after your fourth slam, he's going to very quickly do the refracted Sinlight, and you have very little room around here for, like, here you have no room, yeah, and you lost your healer. Pull him way out, and since you're a monk, taunt him on your way out so he moves faster, right? Because you have that 50% increased move speed when he moves faster, so it's always... So 3 slams, start moving out, get that fourth, and what I'll do on the fourth, especially with ranged, is I'll place the fourth just kind of out in Narnia and place him on it. Because you can still melee him without getting hit by that, not a problem. Yeah, so you can still, and everyone has a lot of room to move around. So there you had lost your healer. Then after, so the first Refracted Sunlight comes after your fourth Crumbling Slam. After that, it's 3. So if you can plan around that, you're fine. Here you did great. You have plenty of room for your party to move around. But that's why you had lost your healer there. Your healer had no place to go, unfortunately.
Crumbling Slam. Glass Shards.
Too far away.
Heap Debris. Crumbling Slam. Glass Shards.
So you're going to have a Refracted Sunlight. Here you're getting awfully close to that Houndmaster, but I think you're fine. You positioned yourself well enough, and you do not have a Venthyr. No, you do not have a Venthyr. So yeah, that's what I would have to say. Is you're going to have to time your Crumbling Slams. You're timing them good, but you're not pulling them out far enough. So it's 4-3-3. So that's kind of always the pattern he does. So once he does the once he does his fourth, you wanna be prepared with a taunt, move him out as far as possible into an open area. So then that way you can really just kind of focus around that and not have to worry about, you know, having no room to move around. But you did a very good job stacking them up nice and clean. Very good. I just think that timing could be worked on a little bit better, but fairly nicely done. That's not an easy boss to tank. A lot of people get that one, kind of mess that one up or whatever have you not. And what is murdering your priest? I'm assuming it's Spiteful. So I can't see, right? You got all this UI clutter here. Which is, like, don't get me wrong, I love your UI. I think it should just be spread apart a little bit.
Curse of Obliteration.
So I'm assuming you're going woe here. We have a 76 marker. Now, where Halls is such a tight timer to begin with, I would have rolled that Houndmaster in with this pack here. Just get it all done at once. Right? This is the Halls of Atonement key timer killer, is when you're doing mob by mob. You want to try and find the ways where you can bring them all together. Now, I know the Houndmaster was on the other side, and he can be a little bit of a nuisance to kind of move. But you could have started by pulling this, brought the Houndmaster, and used this, and used the boss area here to move him over. But, I mean, I understand that you have these guys here, so you would have had to probably kind of go a little bit farther off, or use somewhere else to line of sight. But, honestly, not bad at all. It's just a little optimization thing, right? So, especially with my routing and Halls, I try to almost never pull a singular pack. That's going to be a real big thing to help you. Yeah, you also got your 2 woe buffs right here and here, right? That's kind of a little redundant, but not bad. Oh, someone pulled.
Powerful swipe.
Can't just walk right through them. That ain't your fault, though.
Powerful swipe.
I must get closer.
I actually like the voice models for the Cooldown. I just don't like their physical models. I've been thinking about maybe I get that 60 boost. I've been maybe thinking about a Cooldown Druid just because I love their Druid form so much, and the human forms don't matter at all when you play bear.
Powerful swipe.
Alright, Echelon is always a fun boss, but you have like no melee with you, so those bloods should be pretty good. At what point did you guys use Bloodlust is the question, though.
Curse of Stone.
Okay, you're moving them around well. You're moving out of the way. Good stuff. Your shaman could have decursed himself, but that's is what it is. Now, is it just me, or are you guys sitting on Bloodlust? Because I don't see a sated debuff anywhere. This is definitely one that's really, like, if you want an easier time on this, you Bloodlust on this boss, because he's just annoying. But also, I'm noticing a more redundancy here. So, like, when you have, like, so you see everything on here, but when you pull when you pull the relics, you see what they do there, but then you also have it here as well, right? So the more things you have on your UI, the less you can see. I mean, I whatever personal preference it would be to you, I would probably prefer the plate over the plates, but I mean, that's just me. That's probably something you could do to save yourself a little bit of space, right? Like, right now, you've got an all-range group, but if you were running an all-melee group, you'd have a hard time seeing them. You're keeping them well together. You're doing good.
Curse of Stone.
Is your shaman gonna decurse? Nope. Shaman's not gonna decurse.
Blood Torrent.
Oh, okay, I see it here. Okay, here. Okay, you have your debuffs over here. So you did Bloodlust. Okay, I see them down here.
Stone Paw.
Okay, so you did Bloodlust in this boss. Awesome.
Blood Torrent. Blood Torrent.
Starfall is going to be a bitch for you here. Yep.
Curse of Stone.
So with these guys here, the moment they get hit, they stop moving and they start casting. So you really want to ideally kind of not hit them until they're all in close proximity, but unfortunately that one's a little bit out of your control. This is one I'd hold Spinning Crane Kick because it's got a wide radius, right? Just let Rushing Jadewind kick them in. take them in, but you've got good blood management here on all of your pools. You're doing good. You're utilizing your space as best as possible.
Blood torrent. Stone call.
Ooh, what are you going to do here? You pulling all of them? Nice use of Transcendence. Safety port. I really do like how you're tracking your Celestial Brew right here. It doesn't, not necessarily right there, I just like the way that it's being tracked, I should say. Now, are you running Clea or are you running,
Deadly thrust.
are you running, the Mechanicos here?
Select sins.
Because I had this argument with a priest on stream yesterday that Clea is a trap soulbind on Necrotic Spiteful Weeks. Because yes, File will remove your necrotic stacks and give you an 8-second immunity, but the problem is you're almost always in combat due to Spitefuls, and you want to keep the dungeon. You gotta pull. You have to chain pull, so your File almost never goes on cooldown. So it just, you're not getting the benefit out of Clea at all, and you're losing so much Weapons of Order uptime. But I mean, that's all. That's a small thing there. Also, that priest had no idea what they were doing, but whatever. Now, this one here, so I see you're going for, okay, you went for Vi, sorry, you went for Vi, yeah, perfect. This is exactly what I would do too. You pulled it back in a small room. I would have tried to pull it around the corner, so then that way they would have stayed in the room. Because this here, where you pull them there, they still have a chance to teleport out into the room near the Stoneborns. If you would have pulled them right into the corner, they were always going to try and line of sight someone, so you could have, they would have easily stayed in that room. Now, I mean, again, small, minor optimizations, right? It's not that's not going to make or break your key at all. I do like how you're opening with a quick Keg Smash. Very, very good. Keg Smash is just amazing. It's just really good snap threat. Sorry about that. Tractor passing by.
Haunting fixation. Anima fountain.
I remember that. I must get closer. Yeah, I remember that one.
Volley of power. Anima fountain.
I mean, one thing I like to do on this boss here is I like to tank them near the Anima Fountain, so then that way if you get fixated or a melee does, they don't have to move at all, and they can still keep DPSing the boss while just doing the mechanic. Now, you have all ranged here, so for in this scenario, it would be purely a personal benefit, but if you've got like 1 or 2 melee in your group, I don't know why, but melee is always the ones to get these. If you tank them on a fountain themselves and try and tank them around those 4 corners, the boss will die a lot faster just due to the melee not having to run away and stop doing DPS to take care of the mechanic they'll die from, right? Again, small optimizations.
Anima fountain.
Too far away.
Volley of power.
Oh, he used the blasphemy right there. I mean, is what it is.
Anima Fountain.
I guess there's no way he could have stopped, but whatever.
Volley of Power.
This is for an all range group. The tanking placement here is not a problem at all because it's gonna follow you around. But yeah, for a melee group, I would absolutely think about tanking him near the anima fountains. But
Anima Fountain.
dude, you're killing it right now, dude.
I must get closer.
Good placement. I was about to say, always try and be near some of the pews so you're as much AoE. Focusing damage on Cigar right now, you know what I mean? It literally does not matter. I'd always, as long as you know you have threat on Cigar here, I would be focusing all of my stuff on any of these Tormented Souls, just making sure that you have threat on anything around you and stuff like that. But I wouldn't even be targeting Cigar here because you know he's gonna get in health. So anywhere where you can focus your keg smashes, any little DPS optimization of Tiger Palms, Blackout Kicks, anything like that, would be much better utilized on the Tormented Souls, because if you can prevent even one or two more of them as a tank switching into the manifestations of Envy, then right off the bat, you're saving yourself time. Inquisitor Cigar, because there's really, at this end of the key, there's no way that Cigar isn't going to heal himself. So any single target abilities that you used on him is basically going to be proven to be useless DPS, versus if you can get one or two of the Tormented Souls to help along with all of the other AoE and focus that single target damage onto those, you're gonna make that this pull go a lot quicker for you and your party. The only thing you gotta make sure is that you have threat on Cigar, right? Which, if your DPS are doing things right, they shouldn't be hitting him anyway. So as long as you hit him a couple of times and you have threat, you shouldn't be losing threat. But getting those Tormented Souls down is priority number one. So getting threat on those and then that. But I mean, really, dude, nicely done. Well done at the party. Like, you know, no complaints there. This is a tyrannical week, so is what it is. Good old Brewmaster. And you got an all-range party, too. That's really, really nice. I like this. You don't got to worry about them melee statues. And you ran right into that.
Unleashed Suffering.
Happens to the best of us, but in a high enough key, that will just womp you. Yeah. There you go.
Stigma of Pride. Telekinetic Toss.
I'm out of range.
Unleashed Suffering.
I must get closer.
Door of Shadows.
I mean, you're doing everything right? You're doing everything baseline correctly, is what I'm trying to say here. You know where you're at, you know what you have to do. It's optimization of pulls, like I said earlier, so I can cover that a little bit here. And that's you know, if you can try to plan around it, don't one got away. Don't just pull a singular mob or a singular pack in halls. Try and combine them wherever you can. That's going to be a lot more lenient on your timer. Now, you guys are crushing this key. You got 5 minutes left and less than 50% health. But that Tyrannical especially scales very hard on halls. So when you get to that 20 and 21 range, you're adding minutes onto every boss, right? So this is not something that you want to be doing. And you can save that time by just kind of pulling more trash together, but is knowing what trash to pull together, right? I'm not a fan of using 2 Houndmaster packs together, but I'll put one of the Caster Deadly Thrust packs with a Houndmaster. Those are things that I'll always try and combine together to make use of. Now, unfortunately here, you didn't have Eventier as well, which can speed up the process quite a bit, but small little things. There's nothing there that's a really, you know, there's no glaring issues with your rotation. There's nothing that I would be like, hey, I'm worried here. You know what I mean? I'm looking at this and be like, you can take my key almost any day. Move, Warlock! Sorry, I just saw the Warlock, man. Whoo! He timed that close. But yeah, no, killer key, good times. Slight optimizations, like I said. One of the things that I would change, I've said this a couple of times there, but just maybe spread out your UI a little bit. You got a couple redundancies in how many different things, how many times you're tracking the same thing. Little kind of things like that. But I mean, item level 270, what are you using there? An infinitely divisible ooze? Let's go back 10 seconds. What else are you using? Infinitely divisible ooze is a decent trinket. Oh, a shadowgrass totem. Very, very nice. So yeah, dude, you're doing just fine. You got the baseline idea perfectly fine. You're utilizing all of your kit. You're utilizing Ring of Peace for movement or getting away, and you know, kiting and things like that. Really, dude, like honestly, well done, job well done. The couple little optimization things that I talked about. Halls is one of those like really fun open area dungeons. If you were to pull, like if you have a Venthier, so if I kind of move around, we gotta go. Okay, so you didn't pull this pack. Okay, here we actually have your MDT open. You didn't pull this pack here because you didn't need it because you didn't have a Venthier. But if you pull this pack here, you can get this gargoyle that's right here. You can get this gargoyle that's right here. You can pull 2 onto the boss. Then as you're pulling the boss out, the gargoyles will go away, and you can grab this third one here, or whoever is your Venthier in the party. But that's optimization around that, which means that if you're pulling this here, you're going to have to pull a little bit less all around. So it's something you're going to kind of want to work around and think of. But I mean, really, dude, I mean, we're talking minuscule optimizations here. But you're definitely on the right track. You're doing great. Keep it up. Thank you so much for the key review. Gaining confidence in your routing is going to happen more and more. I pull up MDT on weird routes as well, just to kind of confirm I know what I'm doing or I have the right percentages. Like, don't feel bad for doing that. If you got to do that in the middle of a run, take the few seconds that you need to kind of stop and be like, all right, cool. Are we on the right track? Because that sort of insecurity, if you don't take care of it then while you have that minute, it can lead to future problems down the road or future anxieties or whatever you have down the road, and you're like, oh shit, we should have done this, we should have done this, and now you're like back to like this mindset of, oh shit, what do we need to do in a panic? So if you're opening up MDT and it's taking you very little time, you're looking at it for 3 or 4 seconds to kind of soothe those insecurities, to make sure that you're doing things, you know, correctly and you're at the right percentages and you've got all your next pulls set up. Do it. Don't be afraid to do that, and as you get more comfortable with your routing and the more times that you do it right, repeat and practice, kind of all start making the same things and doing things, you know, making things better. But thank you so much for the key. Thank you so much for the VoD. This is an absolute pleasure. If anyone watching this would like to put one in, and you know, I would like to see their key reviewed or coached or anything, there's a link down below for that, and I would be glad to take a look at it. Aside from that, thank you very much for all of